Okay, let's jump right into this. So have a couple cracks in my shower pan, and I think this could potentially save you thousands of dollars from having to replace a shower or the shower pan. So for just a few bucks, we're gonna try to make this work. So all you're gonna need for this is some Loctite foam, some painter's tape, a 1/4 inch drill bit right there, a painter's brush, and some Flex Seal that's white. So as you can see here, I have a crack there. It's probably about 3 to 4 inches, and a tiny crack right there around the drain. It's going to be a simple process. So first of all, you're going to step around in your shower pan. You're going to feel some squishy spots or some soft spots. Unfortunately, these are so cheaply built that the plastic underneath gives out. So that's pretty much probably what caused these cracks. The support underneath gave out, which caused the cracks. We're going to simply drill some holes in the soft spots. We're going to add the tight foam, and you'll see how that works in a minute. The tape is just essentially to make things look better when we tape things off. And then the Flex Seal is going to go on 2 coats, allowing 24 hours to reapply the second coat. So the foam is going to give us support, so we stand on this, it won't be squishy anymore, getting no more cracks. So we'll go ahead and fill for the squishy spots. I'll mark them, and then we'll start drilling the holes out. So I went ahead and stepped around in it, found the squishy spots. It's pretty obvious, and that's where I'm going to drill holes to put the foam in. And I will do that in the next step to show you how easy that is. So here I have my 1/4 inch drill bit installed on my drill. I'm also going to pop off the shower drain real quick just to see when I spray the foam how it's going to play out. I already loosened it up, so let's get that aside. And you can see that tiny crack right there and that one. But the reason you want to drill in the other places where they're soft is because in the future you don't want this thing cracking anymore. So that's why you want to do it, to prevent any more cracks. Let's get drilling and see how this plays out. Just till you feel it go through. Okay, got my holes drilled out. I got the foam can, shook it for about a minute to get it good to go. I have this box here. I'm going to spray some on to show you how it dries and how hard it gets, and just to give you a kind of an idea how it comes out. It's just a good idea just to test it. The test strip there. Do another one. This kind of gives you an idea. We'll show you when that hardens, how hard it gets. So now I'll wipe off the tip. I'm just going to start putting it in these holes here. Much is going in that one. Let's try this one. You can hear it moving. You can already hear it going in. That's good. It means it's getting where it needs to be. All right, got all the holes filled. We're going to go ahead and let this stuff dry and cure. I ended up adding one more hole right here just for some extra support right there. So I'm going to let it dry because it's going to be easier to clean up once it's dry. So we'll let it dry and come back and clean it off. All right, so this is our game plan. We're going to let it dry for an hour. Then we're going to scrape it off with the scraper from the top. And then we're going to add our seal to it, the top of the holes, and cover up the cracks. The foam takes 24 hours to cure, but it'll cure fine with it covered with the holes. So that's our game plan. Okay, it's been an hour. We're back, and we're gonna do it. See how hard this stuff really is. As you can see, it's hard. I can pinch it, and it kind of comes back. It's really hard. So that's pretty cool. It'll cure hard in 24 hours, but I think this is hard enough to go ahead and scrape it off. Alright, so I got my scraper. Just gonna hold it flush as we can. Just a little scrape. See how easy that comes off? Pretty easy. There we go, that fast. Scraped it all off, and we'll pick it up and we'll apply this sealant. Okay, so I went ahead and taped off my cracks. As you can see there and there, thinking it's going to make it look a little bit better. The holes I didn't tape off because my goal is just to drip some of the Flex Seal onto the hole and just like a dot. So this stuff's going to go on. Put my brush in there. And you let it sit for 24 hours, and then we're going to hit it again. So we're going to start with this cracked area first. Nice and thick. I'm actually going to go over the tape a bit so it looks more uniform when it dries. And it says self-leveling, so put a little bit more on. Alright, that's good. I'm going to put some on that smaller crack right here. Pretty generous with it. All right. Now with the holes here, I'm just going to try to drop on that. Just get a drip in there. Drip it in like that. Let's try to get another one here. It's self-leveling, so I'm not really worried about it. More the merrier. Looks pretty good. So as you can see, the overall, I'm going to let that sit for 24 hours, come back and hit it again. Okay, so it's been 24 hours. I've decided to tape it off into a squarish form. I think it'll look more natural, look better than just having white dots all over the place. It really looks good to the touch. Looks like all the holes look good, so I'm going to now just paint this stuff on into the square, and then give me a little bit extra protection. The foam, it feels really good underneath. It feels much more stable. I'm liking that. I think that's a good tip right there. The foam really worked out well, so I'm going to give it a coat. I'm let it sit for 24 hours and see how it's looking. I think I'm going to pull this tape off let it sit up for about 20 minutes, and I'm going to pull the tape off. You don't want it to harden up and then try to pull the tape off. So here goes nothing. And I forgot to add before I pour that on, I'm actually going to scuff it up a little bit with this belt sanding paper I have. This is a 120 grit. Just going to hit it a little bit like this. Just clean it up a little bit, scuff it up a little bit before I put the seal on. So I'm going to sand, but I don't want to bore you with that. So I went ahead and sanded it. Now I'm going to apply this. Just kind of do a light coat. I won't bore you with this either, but just do a light coat. I want to do 2 coats of this. It takes 24 hours to dry. So I'll do this. I said I don't want to bore you with this either, so I'm going to paint this on. And then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done in a couple minutes. So it took a couple minutes to do that. Try to go pretty thin. This stuff is really thick, but I don't want it to set up too much before I pull this tape off. But it looks really good. I think it's going to look better than just having dots everywhere or whatever. And what I really like is the texture. It's like a rubber matting. So when people stand on it in the future, they're not going to be real slippery at all. So we're going to let this set up for 24 hours. I'll come back in a few minutes, pull this tape off, and then I'll show you tomorrow how it's looking. Okay guys, here I am 24 hours later. I decided to go with the square look. And I didn't do 2 coats on this one because it's thick enough. And it's actually double coated with the cracks and the holes. It looks amazing. And it feels amazing. When you touch it, it's really good. It's not slippery. You can tell it's going to hold up. When you walk around on it, the foam did a great job of giving it more support. So I'm going to highly recommend this, guys. Simple, easy, spray foam. The seal, the stuff is legit. So I'll give it 2 thumbs up. You can save yourself hundreds or thousands of dollars. I would have had to replace this whole tub outlet. It would have been all bad. So just a heads up, I highly recommend this. I will try to do an update in a month or 2. We'll see what happens, but highly recommend, guys. You guys have a great time. Have a great day. Be safe.